Alright, so today we are reviewing one of the original greats, the OG apps that almost any Mac admin will have in their toolbox, and will probably give you tons of great stories on when did they find this, when did they start using it, how long have they been using it. It's Mactracker. If you're not familiar with Mactracker, you definitely have to check it out. I'll put the link to download it in the description down below. You can download it from their website. You can also get it from the Mac App Store. But what makes this app so special is that it's a database filled with all the information of every historical Mac OS and accessory that Apple has ever come out with, and it gives you the ability to interact with all of this great information in so many wonderful ways. So let's just take a look at the app. I just opened it up on my computer, and we have a whole sidebar full of awesome options. We're going to just go right into the timeline because I feel like this is probably the coolest feature in the app by far. In the timeline view, you can see all of the devices by the year that they were released. So it's here, and also the years that they were in use. So July 1978 to May 1984, this disk-2 floppy subsystem was in play, discontinued in May of 1984. You could see all the different connections that it had, the history of the device, a picture right from Wikipedia, and you can add your own notes and links to each entry as well. Very, very cool. Let's take a look at what's going on in 1997. I actually graduated high school in that year. So still looking at the Power Mac, Message Pad, the eMate. Wow, look at this. The Macintosh PowerBook, floppy disk drive, the Style Writer, macOS 8.0. Man, I forgot about that. Let's just take a look at that. So here's an information. This is information about a specific operating system. We can see the history of it. You can see a picture of it. Very cool. macOS 8. It was $99 back in the day. Really, really interesting. You can add your own notes again. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so that is the timeline view. Really love that. It's really fun to just kind of take a trip down memory lane and just kind of see how far Apple has come in the short amount of time that they've been in business. Look, 1978 to 2024, and they've come out with just so many amazing products. Now let's take a look at their desktops. So in their desktop view, we can see various folders and different information that's stored within each one. So these are all the Apple computers. Here we have all the iMacs. Oh, look at this. The iMac with the gooseneck. Really, really love this. Classic and iconic. Really, really wanted one of these when they first came out. You can see here it was $1,299. Couldn't quite afford it at the time. But wow, what an amazing system that was. And again, it gives you all the information. How much memory was on, did this hold? What was the graphics card like? What kind of software did it ship with? What kind of connections did it have? It's got all this information right here. Now, why is this important? Why is this useful? Because if you're working with computers, and let's just say that you're working with someone who has an older system, and you might not be able to boot into it, or maybe it's not functional, but you wanted to see exactly what kind of memory that it might have shipped with, or what the maximum capacity of memory is in a specific system, then this will give you that information without having to deal with, opening up the computer or trying to get it to work, right? You can actually get that historical information right from within this app, which is really cool. Same thing with notebooks. We can see all the different notebooks. So this is the history of the MacBook Air here. Servers, we can see the Xserve here, which is really, really cool. You can see all the other servers that we have here. Devices, right? iPads, iPhone, right? Very first iPhone, 2007. Remember that? Wow, what an iconic event. And again, you can get all the specifications, the software that it's shipped with, the memory chips, etc. And then you dive right into software and peripherals. So let's just take a look at the peripherals like Apple TV. You can see here the Apple TV debuted in 2007, still going strong with the 4K third generation. If I double click on that, we can see that it was $129 and it's still supported. If I take a look at this very first one, you can see that it's obsolete. It actually started at a higher price point, which is actually interesting. I totally forgot about that. Let's take a look at the operating system. So if we go into Mac OS, there we go. We can see all the different versions of Mac OS and the years that they were in play. And we can take a look at the build numbers, the version numbers, and the release dates. Now this is really important because some systems cap out at specific build numbers or specific version numbers. So to be able to see exactly what the build number is for a specific version is super helpful when trying to download older operating systems from Apple's software update server. So you can really hone in on exactly what you're looking for, again, from this app. Now, when it comes to smart categories, we can actually create some pretty interesting things. So if I edit the smart category, we see that we have the capability to filter by a list of tons of different specifications, and we can build a group like processor type contains G5, for example. And when you build that, it actually queries the database and returns your own sort of like custom set of results based on your criteria. Really, really cool stuff. Now, if we toggle over to My Models, this is where you can build your own inventory. So if you're looking for an inventory system on the cheap, maybe you're a small business owner, you've only got like 5 or 6 computers, you can click on the My Model section. You can add models, and you can add specific information about your system. The really cool thing here is that you can set your purchase date and the coverage end date, and it will track exactly where you are in your warranty. So you can see the green, yellow, and red dots in the sidebar here. It'll actually warn you when you're getting close to finishing your warranty. And of course, if it's a recurring warranty, maybe you're using AppleCare Plus and you're continuing to auto-renew that warranty. This is a great way of tracking a few systems at a time. I wouldn't recommend this if you have hundreds of devices, but it certainly is great if you have somewhere between 1 and 25 devices. Totally manageable via this application and super great. So again, Mactracker. If you don't have this in your repertoire, if you don't have this in your tool chest, I highly recommend checking it out. I would love to hear stories about when was the first time that you found Mactracker, how do you use it, and how often does it come in handy, and has it saved you time and effort, and how is it doing that? Comment down below. I would love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.